Welcome back to my series, What Are Their Political Affiliations?, where I dive into the political leanings of your favorite and least favorite reality TV show casts. And I figured as we watch the economy tank in real time, let's speculate on how the cast of The Valley voted. Before we get into it, if you've been enjoying this series or any of my content and you want to support what I do, please be sure to give me a follow here as well as on other platforms, since this might be the last day on TikTok yet again. Yay! Starting with the Dems on the cast who supported Kamala in the 2024 election. First up, Kristen Doty. Kristen voted for Kamala in 2024 and has been consistently vocal in her support of progressive causes like LGBTQIA+ rights. That said, she does have a complicated history, including the racist incident with Faith Stowers that got her fired from VPR. She has since apologized and acknowledged the harm caused. Whether or not that's enough is not for me to say, but politically speaking, she has shown consistent support for Democratic candidates and progressive values, so she's categorized here. Next up is one of my faves on the cast, Zach Wickham. He's a confirmed Kamala voter and makes his politics very clear on social media. Zach is loud and proud when it comes to standing up for human rights and doesn't shy away from calling things out. No doubt in my mind, he's a liberal, and honestly, just seems like a genuinely good person. I have close to zero doubt in my mind that Jasmine Good is a Democrat and voted for Kamala Harris in the 2024 election. The odds are literally in her favor. She's Black, so she's likely part of the 92%. She's queer, she lives in LA, and based on her reposts and public stances, it's clear to me that she is progressive. Next up, we have the likely Dem category. First, I'm putting Luke Broderick in this category as likely a Democrat, mostly by association. I don't have any concrete proof when it comes to Luke, but he's dating Kristen Doty, and honestly, I don't see her dating a MAGA guy at this point in her life. So until I see something to suggest otherwise, I'm putting him in this category. I'm putting Janet Caperna in this category as well, whose maiden name is Vance, by the way. No relation to JD that I'm aware of. I'm putting her in this category even though she was previously a registered Republican in Ohio. Someone close to the cast shared with me that she no longer identifies as a Republican and that her political views have evolved since she moved to California. It's worth noting that she called out Michelle last season for being a racist because she was a Republican, which may very well be true, but the hypocrisy is not lost on me considering her own political history. I did a couple of deep dives into Janet last year, which you can find in my The Valley playlist. For now, I'm placing her here, but I'm open to debate. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next up is my Unclear category, and I'm putting Jason Caperna here because honestly, I just don't know. He's originally from New York, moved to LA for law school. He went to Loyola, and now he's an attorney, which could mean anything politically. It doesn't really matter. But what is interesting is that he works for the insurance companies. So he works against the injured worker. Is he technically the villain in real life too? I did a deep dive on him as well, which you can also find in my The Valley playlist. But yeah, for now, his political vibes are giving big corporate first, people second energy, you know? And yeah, it's unclear, but definitely suspicious. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Next, I have the likely Republican, possibly DL MAGA category. I'm placing Michelle in this category. As a reminder, last season, Janet accused her of being both a racist and a Republican, and while that was never confirmed, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. According to a source, Michelle isn't very politically informed, and based on what we've seen, I feel like that checks out. She doesn't appear to follow any political accounts on social media, but she does follow Jane Fonda, which is, I'll give her a point in her favor. That said, she gives me major politics don't affect me energy. And given her choice in former husband, she seems like someone who wouldn't have a problem dating a Republican. So, while nothing is confirmed, the overall vibe is definitely leaning conservative for me. But let me know what you think. Now let's chat about Nia and Danny Bucco. So Nia was a toss-up for me. This was a hard one. And mainly because of how religious she is. Am I categorizing her here? So Let's back up though a bit. So back in 2016, she posted a video on her YouTube about her experience with Trump during the Miss USA pageant. She stayed pretty neutral, but did say as a Mexican woman, she didn't appreciate his comments about Mexicans. She also said she wasn't a fan of either candidate. So while we don't know who she voted for, she didn't seem super MAGA at the time. To her credit, she has spoken up about reproductive rights and even lobbied on Capitol Hill during her time as Miss America. And now her Instagram looks progressive. She follows AOC, Kamala, and POTUS, and VP Archives, Tim Walz, and Michelle Obama. But it all feels like a little curated, a little performative, possibly. I don't know. Has she seen my videos? I'm not sure. But she doesn't follow anybody conservative that I saw, so that is a good sign. But then there's Danny. He's definitely on that trad wife vibe. He wants a bunch of kids, but complains about paying for everything. I figured he leaned right, probably even MAGA adjacent. But his follows are confusing. He follows Biden, Kamala, POTUS Archive, but then he also follows the real Donald Trump and Dave Caruso. So is he keeping tabs on both sides? Maybe. Has he seen my videos? Possibly. But then he also follows Dave Portnoy, Dave Ramsey, and Logan Paul. Bringing it back to religion though, both he and Nia attend Mosaic, which is a mega church in LA that's non-LGBTQ plus affirming, culty as fuck, and led by a megalomaniac preacher. So not exactly neutral ground. Together they give me nice on the outside, but quietly closed-minded energy. So while their politics aren't confirmed, I'm putting them in this category. But let me know what you think. Despite being besties with Zach, I'm putting Brittany Cartwright in this category. She doesn't follow any political accounts herself, but her mom does follow Melania and Flota's pages, and her family in general is known for being openly homophobic, and Brittany's never publicly distanced herself from any of it, which says a lot. And then there's her own track record. So Faith Stowers said that Brittany called her a nappy-headed hoe, something Brittany denied but never really addressed. She also stood by Jax during his racist behavior, and when their anti-LGBTQ plus wedding pastor was called out, she got defensive, even after castmates reportedly warned her. She's also reportedly pushed Sandy Hook conspiracy theories. So for those reasons, I'm placing her in this category. For the rest of the cast, come back for part 2.